Hello and welcome to the stream. So I'm going to be talking about web development, specifically the backend web development. First, let's talk about what web development really means. When we Okay, actually, first I'll introduce myself. My name is Adi Keshavan. I'm here on behalf of Technology and Gaming Club, and I'm here to teach you about a backend, or as much as I know about the backend, right? So, what is backend, right? When we have a website, right? When you go to, for example, https www.example.com, right? What happens is, I'll show you a really good example. So what happens is, your browser literally sends this to this one, right? Whatever IP address this is at, it sends this as a text, as binary text, and then in response the server there returns this, which means that it renders this HTML page that you see here. That's what you get when you go here. Alright, now as you can see here, there are certain things here that give us hints about what it actually wants. For example, it wants a nothing after this, right? We didn't give anything after the slash, so which means that the subdomain will be empty in this case. And we also see this get here. Now there are actually two main ones, kind of requests, right? We have the get request and we have the post request. In the get request, we are specifically asking for a resource, in this case the web page, and in the post request we'll be sending data through which the server will just say, hey, I understood that you sent something, I'll process it internally. Now to get started, you'll first need to install Python. So if you're on Windows, you would go to python.org, right? And then you would go to the downloads page, Windows, and you would download the specific version which you need. Now be careful about this condition that they've written here. As you can see, on some of these you can only use them up to a certain Windows number, right? So, Windows version. So for example, Python 3.9 you cannot use if you're on Windows 7. So be careful of that when you're installing Python. When you're installing Python, you should also beware to tick an option called add Python to path, right? So what this allows us to do is, when you type Python 3, for example, in your command line, in your case it would be CMD or PowerShell, it has to give something like this, right? So that we can work on the terminal, right? Otherwise we wouldn't have any way to really call Python. If you wanted to call Python, you would have to every time open this application with that application, which is how you normally run Python. But adding Python to path basically makes it a shortcut to be able to be called anywhere. So if you don't make it a shortcut, you can't call it anywhere. You'd have to go to the specific place where Python is and then call it from there every single time. So in my case, Python is in user bin, right? So every single time I wanted to run a Python command, I would have to go user bin python 3 and then the text.py, So now that's that out of the way. So be careful while doing that. Now after you install Python, I'm just going to simulate what is going to be like having an empty installation of Python. Alright, so this is an example of an empty installation of Python. So you just do pip install pip or pip3, both of them are the same thing, Django. So it would then install Django. After this, we're gonna start our project, and then later I'll tell you what each and everything does. So now Django admin start project reconfig website. So in this like stream, we are going to be making a simple registration website, right? So when what we want is, we want for players to be able to register for an event where they play like teams against each other. Now I'll reveal the specific conditions of like the certain edge cases that we have while doing the website, but now just know that it's a simple registration website for people to join in an event, right? We had this event like I would say like a month back, and yeah, that's mostly this project. So as you can see, we have, I think this interface will be more useful for you guys. So as you can see, this is what we see here. We have a manage.py, and then we have another like we have another folder here. Let's take a look inside. So we have this ASGI and WSGI. That's for okay. So first I'll tell you how to run this. You just run this command, python manage.py, and then you given the argument run server to manage.py, right? And then what it will do is, so what you do is, you go to localhost 8000, and as you can see, it's already up through this, right? Now what these files are, one second. This file is for production, right? So when you finally deploy this website, right, this will be your main file. Whereas for now testing, we will be using wsgi.py. That's sort of what it means, right? So that's all we need to understand for now. If you want, you can take a look at it just makes it so that you can actually like make it like a deployable website, right? So what is the first thing we need to do, right? Now so the thing is, when you go here and then you type like this, right? Oh wait, my thing is off. Let's say run this. Now when you go here, this actually just sends something like this, right? But host will be whatever your IP address is, user agent Mozilla, whatever, and it will ask for this empty thing, right? Now when you go back to Django, right? So when you go here, you can see this URLs, right? So let's take a look inside. Oh, okay. So internally there's another something like this, all right, that we're just probing for now. I'll tell you what all these mean exactly later, but as you can see, there's something like it checks for admin / and then it returns something, right? So let's try looking at what admin / does. Oh, so as you can see, it gave us another page. So clearly when we go here, it does something, right? It returns whatever this is. Well, you'll notice that if you go and look at the source code, you'll actually see this somewhere being there. So if we go here, you'll actually see this being sent, right? If you like dig through the source code. But what we want is, we want it to return an index page. So let's try doing that. Okay, so now Django is like pretty advanced, I'll have to say. So just while I may not like talk about specifics, just know that they have dealt with a lot of the problems that I'll be talking about during the course of this, and we are just like using Django to skip all the steps that we like would have needed to solve in order to run a website, right? If you try doing this all the way from scratch, like creating a backend for us for like a web server, it would be like it'll take a lot of time. So Django just helps us like skip all those steps and then make us like deploy a website really fast. Helps us deploy a website really fast. So first to get started, go to urls dot actually first make a Python file called views.py. Now views is basically like a synonym for all these web pages that you see, but like on a higher level, right? So views is not just like a web document. It's like you can do stuff before the web document, Python processing, and then after, Python processing after the web page has been sent. So in this case, let's just create an index page, right? So one second. So we also need to create a directory called templates. And in this I'll just create an index.html. Okay, so I'm just creating a basic like web page for now. I'll just do hello world. Now our task, quote unquote, for now is to get this to like come whenever we go to slash, right? When we go to localhost slash, we want to okay or not. When we want to go to this, when we go to this page, we want like our index HTML to page to replace this page. So how do we do that? So when we go to in views, reconfig views, right? Oh my god. So first what we want is so Django provides us with obviously some shortcuts to overcome all the boilerplate that you would otherwise need to write. So this gives us access to so this is basically like a template for what a web page should look like, right? So index request is just like an object in which like basically a blob of data that Django sends to your there's a very nice documentation on there's very nice documentation on Django shortcuts functions. So if you can see here, all the like the functions that you would in other cases like just use something like HTTP response, HTTP redirect and all that, right? But we don't want that. We just want to easily do all of this. So what we'll do is we'll just do request. We are just sending the request as well, and then we'll send the name of the file that we wanted to render, and then okay, so this is called a context, right? This argument of the function. So what this means is that alright, okay, I'm assuming you have some basic knowledge about Python, right? So this is, I mean, if you don't, this is a I'll try to speed run. This is a dictionary, right? And you're sending us like this blob of data, you're attaching it to the value of request. Now this render takes in this render takes in this blob of data request to help render this web page, and then the web page also requires certain data to render, right? I think actually in this case we don't need this. No, man. So after this, what you do is you'd go to URLs, and then just say that when you go to the main page, that is the index page, I want you to actually use the thing that we just defined. So when we go to nothing, I just want you to use from dot views import index. So I just want you to use index, right? Now let's see what happens. Oh wait, maybe wait, did I name it wrongly? Well, we have hit our first problem already. Oh, right. Sorry, I should move templates. Is it at the same level? Yeah, I should move templates into reconfig, sorry. Now if I restart this. Okay, man. What? One second. One second. So index.html response. That's okay, fine. Let's do this instead. I'll figure it out in 1 second. Rather than rendering this, we'll just do a simple hello world. So let's go to views. Oh my god, URL views, and then rather than doing this, we'll just return a HTTP response, just to show you guys the. So if you do this, and then so as you can see, it returns a response, right? So we just need to debug this. 1 second. Maybe we do need to return this. I don't think we do. Let's see. So index template doesn't exist. Get template. It's probably just a simple error. 1 second. Maybe the name of the file, did I name it wrongly? Come on. Templates, no. cd templates index.html. Template doesn't, oh my god. Okay, fine. I mean, I think it's a very simple issue. So dot views include run. maybe I think we can't do this. Okay. For now, let's just start normally. Normally what they recommend is that you make your first app, right? Maybe then it'll sort itself out. Okay, so let's do this instead. Now I'm just gonna make my first app. Now apps are just extensions of your website, right? You can subdivide your entire like website into apps, mini apps that like slowly build up your website. So let's say you have a user registration part of your website, right? That would be its own app, and then you have like the whatever your app actually does. In this case, we're going to register names, and also we are going to be able to like change themes and all that, right? So that would be another part of the app. In this case, let's just do manage.py. Let's start with team registrations. So I'm just gonna call it team reg. Oh, right. Okay. Okay, so now if we take a look at the project directory, we see we have this team reg as well. So let's try going inside. Now we have this, we have all of these, right? So this is quite different from our normal structure. So let's try going into apps. Okay, seems like it's basically registering itself as an app, huh? So now let's go look at views, right? That's what our other app had. So in this, let's try adding the index page here instead. Okay, so now if we do an I don't know views.py, yeah, def index request, and then return render request, and then index.html, and then an empty context, because we don't have any variable that we need to substitute in the web page, right? That's the only reason why the context exists. So later on I'll tell you how you can just put random values into the web page that you can only access from Python, right? So maybe in your web page, like for example, this is from a wiki post or a documentation post, right? You'll have to probably get that from the database. I'll teach you how to like put this in the actual HTML. So okay, let's add this now to our URLs, right? So we need basically what happens is, you give this like slash, right? You're telling my server that I need you to give me what is at slash. So what will happen is it will go, you'll send it to your web page, and then what will happen is your web page will like just go all around the page, all around the place, and then it will try to find the correct place to get the data from, right? So it's a reconfig. Then so we go to reconfig, then I'm just gonna move this templates file to team reg. Now if we go to URLs, now when we go to slash, we actually wanted to go to we wanted to like redirect to the URLs of all the stuff in team registration, right? So if you want to do that, what we'll do is we'll just do include, and then we'll put the name. In this case, it's just team reg dot URLs. Now I'm pretty sure you have to do something in the settings to register your apps, right? So let's okay, yeah, okay. So the thing is that Django also has like a way to install apps, right? One second. So you kind of have to tell to Django that, hey, I have an apps installed, please check that, please check this thing, so here you would have to add team reg, right? Now this means that your app is basically been registered into Django. Let me just check quickly. Now yeah, cd templates and then index.html. Great. So my views is just index.html and then request. Okay, so now if we go to alright, yeah, I forgot one thing. So reconfig and then cd urls, sorry, we're just gonna edit urls, and then here we're gonna add so the thing is, there's no what is include, right? We need to import that obviously, so here include as well. Okay, yikes. Should work. One second, guys. Why is this not working? Maybe oh, maybe we need to migrate. Yeah, okay, let's try that first. Okay, so python manage and then migrate. So I'll explain the concept of migration, right? So what happens is you have a what is that? You have a you have a SQL database running, right? Whenever you do your backend development, you usually have like a database running where you'll store all the information like your users, your teams and all that in this case. So what happens is we actually need to in Django the table is written in the form of like a Python class, right? So what Django needs to do is it has to convert it into SQL queries first, and then those SQL queries need to be run on this file. One second, I'll show you this file. It's a really cool thing. So there's this file here called SQL db.sqli3. This contains your entire database, right? If you remove this, like basically you have to redo everything. So don't do that. So when you have to convert your Python classes into actual tables in like SQL, you will have to run this migrate, right? We'll see that later. So maybe that's what's causing the problem. Nope. Okay, great. Okay, this was working before. Okay, yeah. One second. Response output load. Okay, fine. We'll do this instead. Let's go to team reg. Models. No, sorry, and views. Did it say? Okay, we need to return a HTTP response template dot wait, what? This doesn't seem right. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. So template is equal to loader.get template. Okay. Template. Then we get it's team reg / index.html, right? Now after that we have to do the / request. 1 second. Okay. So template dot render, and then we give the context, which is just empty in this case, because we don't actually need anything on the web page for now. And then we give our request. Poll template. Oh, okay. Sorry. So let's go to templates, and then we make their team reg. And then we'll move index inside. Now let's try rerunning this. Okay, index. I think it's still. Oh, it's still using an old version. 1 second. Maybe it didn't update. Reconfig URLs. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So include. Why did it not save? I thought I saved. Include. We're gonna include team reg dot URLs. So basically, in this place, it's gonna substitute all of team reg, right? Oh, okay. Let's run the server now. Team reg dot URLs. There is. Okay, this is not good. I was certain this is how it worked. Okay, let's see. Did I name it wrong? Team reg, yeah. Reconfig website. cd views. Sorry, nvim views. That's not what I need. So it should get this. I have a feeling we're missing something. Well, I showed you how to do that. Now it's just a matter of substitution, right? Okay, just for checking, I'll just do registration here instead, rather than we'll design the index page later. When we do this, team reg URLs not found. Okay. Do we have to register something? Forms, no, models, test URLs. Oh, okay. Yeah. I forgot one thing. So you go here, you go to team reg. You also need to. Python is basically a complex thing, Sorry, Django is a very complex system. So there'll be multiple checks and stuff to ensure all that's happening. Oh right, I didn't even create the URLs.py. Okay, that's fine. So I'm gonna import Well, no wonder why it didn't work. Okay, so we are gonna have to create the thing that it's substituting into that place, right? When we do include, it's gonna substitute something into its place, right? This is what it's gonna substitute. So actually we don't need that, do we? Yeah, we don't need it. We don't need this either. Yeah, okay. So from dot views import index. This is what it checks, by the way. App name. Okay. URL patterns. Okay, now let's see. It should work. Sorry guys, it's just nervousness. It should work. Oh. So there's nothing in here, right? If you go to registration, and of course it doesn't work. This is not supposed to be this hard. No. If we... Oh, wait, am I not returning something? I'm pretty sure I am returning. I am returning. So what's the problem? Okay, callback loader.get template. Template does not exist. Maybe CTB response output version. Okay. Maybe something here. Okay. All right. Now we might be able to get away with putting in polls/templates rather than another polls subdirectory, but Django will first choose first template. Okay. All right. Your project's templates, the default settings files, backend, Django templates. Look for template subdirectory in install. Okay. So polls, templates, polls. Yeah, that's what I have. Should be working. It's worked in testing as well. Team, like, imagine this is once in a lifetime thing, or someone's out there like telling like this is, you're doing it wrong. I'll figure this out, don't worry. Name index. Okay, views index. Wait 1 second. I'll just return in like a quick second. Okay, I found the culprit. Here there needs to be an os.path.join base dir templates. I do not know why this was not there. I'm pretty sure this is there automatically before. Okay, so that should fix our thing. Okay, let's go and test this out. So check whether that's there, guys. I guess OS. Okay, yeah, import OS. Okay, just import OS. Please work. Templates. Oh wait, did I not write app there? I thought I wrote app there. Okay, let's. I think that might be app there false. Let's check that. Templates. App there. Okay, why are you not working? Maybe in base is I also need to add to check for base to resolve. Let me check for base to. Okay, resolve parent static. Okay, anyway, it says here to check at lives says to check in template/index.html. So let's just do that. Let's put it in templates index.html. So no. Okay, let's do this normally. Alright. Wow, it's been an hour and we haven't even done a hello world properly. Index. Well, yeah, you have to move the templates back outside, right? Move templates and then back outside. Okay, reconfig templates index. Alright, let's reconfig website templates. Oh, maybe since I moved it outside, I need to restart. Python manage.run template name. Did I miss something? Oh, okay, it's probably in views. Okay. I need to return a HTTP response, not whatever that is. Import from Django.http import HTTP response. Yeah. Oh, come on. Oh, finally we got it. Okay. So yeah, so that's a basic hello world. Now time to start with models. So the thing is, each app can have its own database that it uses to store values of each user or whatnot, right? You need some internal processing, so we'll store some values in models, right? So let's go into models. Okay, models.py. So in this one we'll just create okay, so we just need to create a student, right? Let's create a representation of a student in our database. Yeah, okay. So this is how you make a table in your for your backend, right? I'll explain this shortly. So right now we are creating different fields of our database basically. So sorry, we are creating different fields for our database. So first is registration number, which is just going to be a 9 length character. Our name is going to be 30. Our email is just going to be an email field. So it's 40, I guess. Okay. Now phone is just gonna be a big integer field. Now you can get all of these like various integer fields and all that in the Django docs. It's really good, the Django docs. So Django fields, yeah, for models, yeah, model field reference. Here we go. So all the fields that I've given are here. Field types. So big integer field, char field, yeah, here we go. So that's that. Now phone, I don't know, Discord ID, I guess. Models are char field, max length equals 50. Now we need to tell internally how we want this to be sorted. I'm gonna use registration number as that, and then when it tries to show each field in the database, I want it to pick the name as the name as a representation of the entire field, of the entire row or record, right? So next, let's do a class team. We'll create a team database now. So when we do name equals models dot char field max length equals 30, game equals models dot foreign key game on delete. Okay, so for team we need a games, we need which game we're gonna do, sorry, game. So we'll create one for game as well, like each representation of a game. Short name models dot char field max length equals 3. This is okay. So when we pick the game, right, I want it to be stored using this as a relation. So I'm just gonna give a short name for each game that I store. Just quickly finish this. I'm gonna give it a name, obviously, and then a max players that can be in a team for this game. That's what this represents. Default equals 1, and then obviously when showing this, right, I want you to pick. Okay, so I don't know if you guys know this, but in Python, when you try to convert something into a string, this is what it calls. So when you try to print str of a game object, it will actually just call this, right? So self dot name. I hope I am seeing. Okay. Next. Okay, so this just basically means I want you to create a field which just has a relation to this, right? So for each row it's going to require a game, right? You can just think of it as like a connection, right? So simple diagram. So let's say we have, okay, come on. This is our first table, right? It has multiple fields. And then this is our second table. That also has multiple fields. Now, these are the multiple records. Yeah, so in this case we are just gonna point to this, right? And since the connect we're not specifying that it needs to be unique, so multiple rows in this multiple rows in this team can point to the same game, but this relationship is one way, it cannot be the inverse, right? So one game, wait sorry wait no 1 to 1, okay, yeah, so while one game is connected to multiple, like it's not like this, right? So always like, oh yeah, sorry, like this it cannot be. So it's a one way, like one to many connection basically. So that's important because that's one of the concepts. Wait, have I written everything max length wrong? No, okay, only this one. Okay, on delete equals models dot cascade. So basically what this implies is that when I delete a game, right, it should also delete this all the specific records related to that game. That's what that means. Okay, so I'm gonna not create this for now. I'll tell you what that means. Well, we'll just have a models for, we'll just have a field for all the members. Many to many field. Student. Okay. Don't mind this. Oh wait. Yikes. Oh, that's bad. I just have to take certain screenshots for the event. Files. Okay, so this basically implies that you know, let's say this is a student, right? In both ways it can go to multiple, you know. So one student can be in many many teams, as well as many teams can have the same student. So it goes both ways, right? Whereas in the previous example, if you saw, one game can be in multiple one game can be in multiple teams, but one like same game multiple games cannot point to the same team, if that makes sense. Okay, now for this one I'm just gonna say use the name to order the thing. I'll show you what this actually means. So this is a representation of our thing. Game dot name. Okay, now that's done. So what we have to do now is we have to register all of these tables we just created. So let's go to admin. This basically adds it to that page which you guys saw. 1 second. So if I go to admin, oh wait, okay. So first, right, to access admin, you saw how there was like I don't know if you guys remember, but when you tried to access the admin page, they asked for login. So what we can do now is we can just do right, so create super user. This basically creates like a atomic string, email address, I don't know, you don't, it doesn't actually need to be an actual email address. So okay, so if I go to admin, after starting the app, of course, if I go atomic string and then you have all these things, right? We only currently have users and groups. As you can see, the user I just created is here. So we need to register it to this site, right? How we do that is by going to and in this, I think there's an admin. Yeah, nvim admin. So as it says right there, register your models here. So that's what we're gonna do. This is the syntax for registering models. So all the different data means tables, right? So now what we need to do is we also need to do python manage.py make migration. This creates all the SQL queries that need to be run on the table, right? One second. We have that views. Well, did I already run it? Okay, we'll check that later. Currently, I guess you're not performing any queries on it, so it's not required. Did I already do something with it? Let's see. Migrations. No, nothing. Okay. Migrate. Okay. Python manage. Sorry, run server. Let's look at our things in action. Why are you doing this to me, Django? Is it something in settings again? I'm pretty sure I added it to installed apps, so let's go check that. Okay. Reconfig. Let's go to settings. This was way easier in testing. I don't know what happened. Request settings. Okay. Static. Okay. Not user. That's fine. Maybe I didn't add it properly to my 1 second settings. I probably didn't put the comma or something. Let's see. Oh wait, what? I thought I added it. Team reg. Okay. There we go. Finally a name. Alright, I didn't do open bracket, close bracket. That's a rookie mistake. As you can see, I told you, right, when we send a request, that's the heading thing here. Anyway, models, it's in my models. Okay, so yeah, here. Okay, so as you can see, it's here. Now I'm pretty sure you have to run make migrations. Yeah, So now if we migrate, it will run all the queries required to add all of these to the SQL database that I showed you earlier. Oh. So this SQL database will now contain all the tables. Okay, so okay, so there's another way you can access all of these if you don't want to use that. So this lets you do from team reg dot models import all these ones, so game team student. Okay, so yeah, so this is how you would get all the objects of games inside here. So for now, let's try creating a new game. I don't know, CS is equal to game. Let's try short CSG C Counter Strike Go. And then max, let's say 5 members in a team. I'm not actually sure. CS.save. Spread a member but got CSG or ID. Pretty sure it's save. Maybe it's not save. Wait. And then dot save. Okay, I thought I did. Expect field ID. Did I need to give also field ID? I thought this was fine. Anyway, I mean, we can always just do it here. So let's go to games. Alright, run server students, no, games CSG Counter Strike Go max 1 max 5. Save. Now if we try accessing that, right, from team reg dot models import game dot objects dot all, as you can see, this is added to the added to the database. So let's try creating some false students. Python manage students. Let's try adding I don't know, 22 BC 5523. I'm not even sure this is an actual number. Let's name this guy John Doe. Yeah, John has John Doe at Gmail. Okay, that's also fine. Let's do 999. Okay, all lines. And then he's also John. I don't know, hashtag 555. That's it. Now let's create a team with only John in it. Gladiators, let's do Counter Strike Go. Only John is gonna be in it. So now if we go to here, right, let's look at the shell again. From models import game. No, we want team. And we also want game and student. Okay, so team dot objects all gives us this. So let's get a of 0. Okay, a equals 0. A dot game. So a of game dot name we can get, right? That's that. Let's try a dot student. What did we call it? Members, right? Okay, a dot members are all So we have all the members in here. So as you can see, we can get all of these information somehow, right? This will be the same here. So we'll have access to all of this in our views file, where we can get all of this information. So let's try doing something a little bit more impressive now. Let's go to one second. So let's go to team registration. Let's create a form for like accepting new teams, I guess. So first we'll create a web page to show all the teams. Okay, and URL supply. So one second, let's start this off. Why am I keep going here? Views. So def view all request. Okay, man. Template is equal to loader.get template. Let's get view all dot html, and then return http response. Let's just copy this line, paste. Now we need to create this, right? Wait, first of all, let's get all the team dot teams is equal to team. Okay, first you have to import from models, import team from team dot objects dot all. So we have all our teams, right? So now we can just do in the context teams returns teams. Okay, so when we ask for teams within our file, we'll get this variable basically. That's what that means. Okay. Now if we go to views, URLs I mean, and we just add that thing, path view. Now we need to create the actual web page. One second. So let's go to templates. Let's create view all .html. So okay. I'm not gonna make this pretty. I just hope you guys know that beforehand. So view all teams. So what we can do is for team in teams, right? Oh my god, why did that go away? For team in teams, and then we're gonna end the for. So this is like a specific language for Django templates. It's based off of another one called Jinja. All right. So Jinja is like a more complex like substitution thing. So in all of these places, it will substitute. After running some code, it will substitute all the required like data here, and then it will send that finished HTML web page to that. All right. Okay, so let's. Oh no. Okay, second. Okay, so I don't know why it keeps doing that. Okay, anyway, so in here I'm just gonna print the teams. Okay, so for like syntax, right, we'll be using curly brackets and like curly brackets and the percentage symbol, whereas for like data substitution, like normal data substitution, we'll just be using double curly brackets. So team has what name dot name, and then team dot game, then we're just gonna do team dot members. I know it won't be pretty, but what can you do? So that will be all the teams, right? It'll just show all the teams. Let's go look at this. Yeah, see, so we have the name, we have the team name. Oh, none. Okay. Oh, right. I have to do right. So you can't really call things, I guess. 1 second. Yeah, here. Okay. Team dot members dot all, I think. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so normally what you do is you just do for student in students and then do that. Okay, if you want, we can do that. We just do this and then for student in team dot members dot all, and the other for, and then here we'll just do at the end of this we'll just do br. Now next stream will be not me, but someone else will be teaching you how to do front end, basically make this look all pretty. For now I'm just showing you how to do all of these like substitutions and stuff. We are gonna finish up with like forms and then how you save all of these, right? And then yeah, you can like just extend on this and basically make any page ever. It's just more complicated and more stuff to learn, and then you can create a page. Even with the stuff that I've taught here, stuff that I said here, you can create a decent web page. Everything is just extension of what I've said right now. Alright, so let's do so I need to print the student name, student.name. Then okay, yeah, so John Doe, and then if I added more students it would show up here. If you want, I can show you that as well. So let's create another student, add student. So I don't think there are that many students in DCT. Perseus, okay. Perseus at who cares? Oh no, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Pegasus hashtag. I do know Discord is changing, but we just keep it like this, and then in Gladiators we can just add Perseus as well. So now when we go back into Gladiators, it's added. Okay, so now if you go to registration/view, so as you can see, it also has John Doe and Perseus. If we add multiple, it'll just like come here. Okay, let's make this at least more bearable. Okay, now we are gonna see how to do basic forms. So basically, how do you get the user to submit entries into this thing, right? The games are obviously not going to be there, so we'll just take students, right? Okay, so first we'll do a student. We'll just let us take in students, and then we'll do that. Okay. Is the stream up? Pretty sure the stream is up. Okay, that. Hey, I am live, right? Yeah, okay. Alright, let's do some forms now. Let's go to team rec, and then okay, that's, yeah, okay, forms.py, and then here we'll make some basic forms. Okay. You know that. Okay. Okay, let's do student from Django, import forms from dot models, import, for now we just need student and team. Oh, don't know what that was. Okay, let's even forms have something like this. No, okay, so student forms dot. So there is actually two things inside forms that we are most worried about. One is called model form, and another one is just called form. Okay, so form lets you have stuff that, okay, so forms lets you have fields that are not like relevant to any model, right? If this is basically like a shortcut so that you can just implement everything that is inside the model automatically into the form without you having to go like, okay, so it would look something like, one second, I'll just show you. Name is equal, this is how a normal form would look like. So you would have to do something like this, right? And so on, maths, length, whatever. We don't want to do that. We can just do model form, and then that unlocks just auto stuff. So class meta model equals student. We have to mention what model it is. It can't just pull from here. No, student form, and then all the fields that we want to show up. So the thing is, it will not work unless you either give fields or exclude. Either one of these should be there. Exclude just means what should not show up, and fields means what should show up. So if you have more that you do not want to show, you have more that you want to show, then you can just do exclude and then something, and then otherwise you just do fields. For now we'll just use fields. We have, say, what, exclude is better. Okay, so that solves that. Or you could actually, there's another one. So you could do this. There's another shortcut for saying I want everything, right? Alright, one second. So if we go to admin, forgot to show you guys. So you see how they use a name, right? So if I actually change this, that would change basically. That's what I wanted to show. As you can see, okay. So that's why we did this whole like business. Also, just show some weird text. I'm not sure how. It just looks weird. Yeah, see. So that's why we have this. Yeah. So let's work on the form. So let's go to URLs and then add a place where the person can add themselves, right? So register register name equals register. I'll show you why we need to do this. I'll show you later why we need to do this, like name equals and stuff. Okay, it allows us to do something a bit faster. Alright. Okay, so let's create a register. No, so we need to do, okay, so this is gonna be a bit different, obviously. So we are gonna do if request method dot method is equal to post, which means that okay, so I showed you before, right? When we send calls, yeah, it will be something like this, right? This is what will be in the starting line of the of what the browser is saying to us. So as you can see here, it's get, right? But when we submit stuff like that form to add the student, it sends something like post and everything, right? So we can get that using this. So if we can it'll either be a get or a post. So if it's a post, we want it to, you know, one second. We are up. Something seems that usually happens. Okay, so anyway, so we just do form is equal to what do I call it? Yeah, student form, and then the data that we got, right? Yeah, you can just do requests. Yeah, request dot post. So this converts it into a form that is filled up. Okay, otherwise we need to give them an empty form. So form is equal to team form, then context is equal to, we'll just give them form access to the form, return render request. No, let's use this template system. I don't know if this other one works. I'll most likely end after doing this, basically this request stuff, sorry, this form stuff. Okay, anyway, request http response template dot render context and request. Okay, so actually we need to do form dot save and then return redirect, and I want to go to team reg. Yeah, team reg and then index. That's why we named everything here. So this team reg index means team reg index, so it'll go to this page. Similarly, if we wanted to go to if we wanted to go to team reg, the view all page, you would go to team reg view all, so that's how that works. But I'm pretty sure I forgot to do the import. It's in shortcuts, redirect. Okay, that solves that. Okay, register. Oh yeah, I need to do the template. Let's do the register.html and then HTML5. register yourself. Okay, so oh my, okay, register yourself. So we're just gonna do a h1 registration form. Okay. Now, wait. So we have the form, right? Method equals post. This is how you do forms in HTML, if you are unaware. So this is how our post is. I'll explain what this is, but we need to add something called a CSRF token. Okay. Now for field in form, we're just gonna have the label and then the specific form, so we'll just do okay. So label, yeah, let's do field dot label and then slash label. Okay, yeah, okay, there we go. Now we need to do the input thing, so that's just field. Okay, field that just renders the the correct type of input there. So if it's like a select, it'll be like a check drop down, and if it's like if you need to select between multiple things, it'll be a drop down. Otherwise it'll be a text form or like a number form and all that. So button type equals submit. This is the submit button that you see on, yeah. I should probably register button. Okay, now try going to registration / register team form not defined. Wait, what? Did I do team form? Let's go to team reg view. No, yeah, views. Okay, so it's supposed to be student forms. I missed that. Okay, yeah, so I forgot to do the BR. Register, and then at the end of this BR. Okay, so I don't know, 22 BC E5 whatever. Pandian, I don't know, panda@gmail.com. Okay, panda hashtag 4567 register. Okay, now if we go to admin to view all the students, as you can see, Pandian got added, so now a simple one for adding students and we'll basically be done. Okay. Thankfully that I was able to fix that templates thing within time, I guess. Maybe we could have done more if I spotted it earlier, but sometimes things like this happen. Okay, so let's go to views, add team request template equals loader, and then add team.html if let's copy this. And then we'll change this to, oh, that's loud. Now yeah, so that's done. Now we have to add the actual form itself. We can do the same thing that we did for students. Yeah, okay, that's done. Obviously we have to do this. What did I call it? Right, add team.html. Now h1 create team. Now I would have done user and stuff, but it really killed me, the templates thing. I didn't know it was going to be that much of a problem, but what can you do? So I'm not going to do authentication here, but just know that it is possible, and Django already has support for users, is a hint, I guess. So yeah, using that you can create some basic authentication where they have to create a username, they have to create a user, only then they can register themselves as a student, but only once, and then you add them to the team or whatnot. They can only create one team basically, or something like that. Sorry. Okay, so anyway, yeah, we can copy the rest from register here. It's literally the same. Okay, I think that should be over. Oh no, I didn't add it to URLs, right? I knew something was wrong. Paths. Let's do add, and then we do add team name equals add team. Oh, don't know what I did. Team form is not. Okay, I probably didn't import it. Use team form. Yeah, so as you can see, you can select, I don't know, Pandian and Percy should be in the team, and I want to call this hijinks. So now if we go to registration view, so as you can see, basic application to add stuff, Now next stream, my friend Tweedledum, or he doesn't reveal his name on Discord, so it's hard to know his name. He's gonna, you'll know, but I'm not gonna be the host for next stream. He's gonna teach you how to do HTML and CSS, basically make this page look all pretty, and that's mostly gonna be it. So I'm just gonna recap quickly what we did during this stream. Okay, so I'll just show you what commands also we did. Okay, first I'll just take a screenshot. registration. One second, I just have to do this so that they know what I did. Okay, come on. What is it? V. No, I was already in view, so I'll go to here, take a screenshot of this. Okay. Now, if we go to okay, I'll just show you quickly what we did. So first of all, we created this whole project using Django admin start project reconfig. I'll just to help you all understand, I guess I'll just create a here negative, and then recap.empty. Django admin start project reconfig website. Then after that we created our first web page using using the HTTP response hello world thing. After we figured out that templates did not work, so that was that. So after that we created we figured out that running to run the server, we know that now it is python manage.py run server, and then we know that to start an app it's python manage.py and then start app, I don't know, team reg, right? And then to use the shell, python manage.py shell. Alright, let's take a quick look at the shell since we have changed everything, right? So let's do game, team, and student. So team.objects.all, this gives us all the teams. So let's do team hijinks, right? Hij. So hijinks. Yeah, okay. Hijinks dot game gives us the game. Dot members gives us all the members. Okay. Dot all. So Pandian and Perseus. So we figured out how to use the shell. Then for we know that we need to do URLs to make a subdomain. Okay, if you don't want to show yourself. To create one of these, we know that we know that we have to add it into the URLs. So here URLs, it needs to be in this basically. So add to URLs, then add to URLs, and then URL stuff, right, and then make the view in views.py. Then we actually make the template file in templates. Okay, so that gives us a subdomain. If you want to make an app, use the above command to create it. Then yeah, okay, use the above command to create it. Then you so yeah, after using the above command to create it, we have to make sure to add it to what is that? Okay, why is this not? Alright, so settings and install apps. So settings.py add the app to settings.py install apps. Make sure you configure the routing. Basically in URLs we need to make sure that the paths of the new app is there. So paths of new app should be in main URLs.py, right? And then yeah, okay, so that makes the app, okay. And then if you want to make a new table, right, so what do you need to do? So you need to make a model, which is basically the class representation, like Python object representation, oops representation, object oriented programming, which is just the whole thing about class and oops. A representation in models.py, right, models.py. Next we need to register them in admin so that you can use the whole thing. Add to admin.py. Add to admin.py. Register to admin.py. Next you need to do python manage.py, make migrations to let Django generate the necessary SQL queries to make the table. Then you do migrate to actually run them, so that it fills up this database right here. This is your actual database. Now if you want to configure this, right, you can go to settings and then you see here like one second, database engine. One second, there's something like database engine. Yeah, so this tells us how the database is used, right? In our case, it's just a simple like SQLite 3 database. It's a C library that's been ported over to Python. That's what we are using right now. If you wanted something like Postgres or MongoDB, you would change this. Okay, now make a new table, right, and then yeah, make a new form. First you have to add it to forms, add to teamrec.forms.py, and then you have to register it? No, yeah, just add it to forms, and then you can just use them in your use. Every time you make a change to one of these models, you have to let's do this, right, foreign key. Oh right, sorry, you can't have it's much more complicated if you want to have two types of the same so this is a many to many, right? If I also wanted a leader is equal to models dot foreign key, I would have to do something else. Okay, so let's just leave that. It's something like related name. I'd have to change related name. Oh no, that's not a good sign. I hope the stream is still up. Okay, so use them in your views. Anyway, every time you do it, you have to run these two commands to update the table. Otherwise it'll just have the old version of the table. Okay, so now let's do so use them in your views and make sure you do form. Okay, in your views, okay, views, you're gonna first check if it's post, then you're gonna if so change, so save the given data. Alright, I told you what I would explain what CSRF is. So quickly, CSRF is just a way to stop other people from just simply just sending get a form request, and then they can't just send a form request and then let it like happen, right? So I'll show you quickly what it does. Okay, I don't know how many people are actually watching at this point. Python manage.py run server. Okay, so if I go to registration, create, add, yeah. So if I go here, form, there's actually a hidden field. Yeah, so this is called the CSRF token, right? This value also has to be submitted along with the form, so that it would be we know that it's a real person who went to this page and then submitted, rather than someone who just sent something that looks like this and then got their form submitted. So yeah, if given data, and yeah, okay, check if it is post, if so save the given data. If it is not, we need to create an empty one. Create an empty one and show that on the page. And yeah, make the template. That's it. Okay, yeah, that's basically the whole event. I have 1 minute left, so yeah, thank you all for watching. Be sure to tune in next week. Yeah, next week for the front end session taken by a clubmate and friend. His name is Tweedledum on Discord, but I'm not sure about his real life name. He kept it a mystery, so you'll be taught by him, but his name will be there in the event post, so you'll find it through that. So that's it for now. It's hard, there's lots of theory and we're just ignoring it mostly just because we want to create a website. Just know that if you want it to remain a mystery, things are gonna be a little harder. So I suggest at least learning a bit of the theory required to do all of this. Oh yeah, here, look, get post. Okay, anyway, suggest learning a bit of theory, or at least implementing half of what, okay, not even half, 1% of what Django does in by your own, right? All of these things I would just suggest making it on your own, right? Yeah, that's mostly it. Thank you for watching. Yeah, so show up next time if you want to know how to make this more prettier, I guess.